Beautiful people out in Expediting Land, your host, Danny here. What's going on? Bam! Guys, this segment is very important. Newcomers especially. Veteran drivers know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is signing on concerning the CSA score status with you and the carrier. They go hand in hand, all right? CSA score status is very, very important. I'm going to have a link down at the bottom of the screen right there, or right there, whichever. Okay? The length of the website you need to go to, have your DOT number ready to enter, okay? Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what will happen. Here's what will happen. Okay. CSA score. When you go to the website csa.fmcsa.dot.gov. All right. Again, csa.fmcsa.dot.gov. Go to that website. That's the DOT CSA score lookup for you and the carrier, okay? There's 7 categories. 1, unsafe driving. 2, hours of service compliance. 3, driver fitness. Yes, driver fitness. 4 is controlled substance, alcohol, and drug. Okay? 5 is your vehicle maintenance. 6 is your hazmat compliance if involved and you have that endorsement. 7, the crash indicator. Category 6 to 7 are not public. All right? The first 5 are unsafe driving, 1. Hours of service, 2. Driver fitness, 3. Controlled substance, alcohol and drugs, 4. 5 is the vehicle maintenance. All right? 6, again, hazmat compliance if you're involved, not public. And 7, crash indicators, not public also. Here's what will happen. There's some dude walking around, he's doing maintenance to his truck. Anyhow, if your carrier has a horrible CSA score, all right, it's 60% or lower, you're really going to have problems if it's 55% or lower. The carrier, you need to be aware of this, newcomers, is going to cause you headaches if you don't look into this. If you have a good driving record and you have previous Expedite experience and you never heard of this term, being stopped, weigh scales, weigh stations, all right, the chicken coop, whatever the nickname is for the weigh stations, the carrier that you drive for, if they have a bad standing on CSA, you will be stopped in the weigh scales 90% of the time. 90%. The reason being is because this carrier has not complied. It has a very low CSA score, which means they have a record of putting on the road unsafe vehicles and unsafe drivers. All right? This CSA score status check lookup is very important. You go in, you sign on with an owner, and this guy is on with a carrier that you never heard of, or wherever the case may be. You need to get that DOT number immediately. Look it up. Again, I'm going to have the link below listed during this video content recording. CSA score lookup is very important. I highly suggest the new guys coming in, ladies and gents, of whatever the case may be, whatever carrier you're deciding to go for and drive with, look up their CSA score. I highly urge you to do this. Again, newcomers, it's going to save you headaches. Because you sign on with an owner that's on with a carrier that's got a bad CSA score, you're going to get stopped. Now, Class B straight, Class A semis, bam. If you have a CDL, A or B, and you are in a cargo van, you will still get stopped because you are a CDL holder. Driver's license regular, Not that much. You still get stopped according to the DOT displayed on that cargo van, straight truck, or semi. When you go through the weigh scales, 90% of the time, that DOT is registered to that carrier, which displays their CSA score percentage. If it's bad, you will get pulled in. For the littlest things, for the smallest little things. One little clearance light out. All clearance lights are working on a semi-straight or van, including vans. Again, if you're a CDL holder and you drive a cargo van. All right? You need to take this seriously. The CSA score status update is serious stuff. It's going to cause you a lot of headaches. It doesn't matter if you're in New York, you're in Mississippi, out Texas, it does not matter. That CSA score attached to that carrier's percentage displayed when you go to the weigh scale is going to say a lot. It's going to say a lot. If they're going to pull you in, you better have your P's and Q's. You better be on your P's and Q's. Cross your T's and dot your I's. Yep, you better do so and have everything in order. You think I'm kidding? You wait until you get stopped. If you sign on with an owner that's with this type of carrier, you know, I again, no names mentioned. CSA score, again, csa.fm, csa.dot.gov. 7 categories. First category, unsafe driving. Second, hours of service compliance. Third, driving and fitness. Yes, there's a driving and fitness category. 4, controllable substance, drug and alcohol. And 5, the vehicle maintenance of that particular vehicle. The number is registered with that carrier. 5, and number 6, excuse me, is hazmat haul compliance if you're involved. Okay? And 7 is the crash indicator. Okay? All these categories are going to be displayed when you enter that DOT number. If you're new and you're logging into that website, you need to register and go ahead and have yourself a registered new email, DOT number, or whatever the case may be. You have to register. I highly urge you to do so. I highly urge you to do so. All right? Now, you're going to be above the threshold. The threshold means if the percentage score is horrible with the CSA, upon this carrier signing on, this owner, and you as the driver, you're going to get stopped. You're going to get stopped. All right? You will get stopped in the weigh scales so much more often than you even realize. All right? They're cracking down on these things, trying to get unsafe drivers and unsafe vehicles and these people that are not complying with CSA off the road. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. People delivering cheap freight and all these other things. I'm not going to get into details. You guys know, veteran drivers know I'm getting at, okay? So again, your CSA score status update with this carrier, to look it up before you finalize the contract with that owner and that carrier. You've got to look into this. All right? You can do what you want. You can do what you want. But I highly urge you to look into the CSA score status of this particular carrier. All right, guys? It's going to save you a lot of headaches. If you don't check it and you start rolling, getting loads, and you're wondering, why am I getting stopped all the time in the weigh scales, man? Why am I getting DOT officers pulling me over? Again, Texas, New York, it doesn't matter. California, it doesn't matter where, man. That DOT number is registered, that carrier. If you're on ROP and you got your own authority, you know what I'm talking about. You know, veteran drivers, you know. But your newcomers that are signing on and not aware of the CSA score status, it's going to affect your time. It's going to affect your process and your route on a load, pickup or delivery, man. You've got to look up the carrier CSA score. It's very imperative. Use the DOT number. It's self-explanatory when you go to this website. All right? It's very useful information you newcomers need to have. Again, all right? I'm up in here in New York, Albany, just unloaded. At another plant, they got their plant up and running. There's a pump system that went out. A suction pump system, a sump pump, huge and pretty big, massive. But anyhow, CSA score status lookup. Please do it. Use the DOT number. Again, if that carrier has a bad CSA score, you will get pulled in and stop at the weigh stations, weigh scales, chicken coops, whatever you want to call them. You will, straight up, if you choose to go with this carrier. So just be prepared, okay? A carrier could be in the process of getting things cleared up, okay? Now, updates, okay? Updates don't happen but once a month for these carriers, all right? And it goes, look on the CSA score status page, the performance section. When you log in, you'll see the 7 categories displayed on the left-hand side of the screen, and on the right-hand side of the screen, have the performance column. You need to look into that very carefully. Read it very carefully. This is something that, you need to take into consideration. If you don't want to sit here and get stopped every time you go through a weigh scale, okay? You watch your P's and Q's, man. Cross your T's, dot your I's, straight up, man. They're going to stop you. This is Danny of Expediting Land signing off. Going to get probably another good load here. This week has been awesome. Awesome. But I will be addressing some other issues with CSA on future videos. This is Danny of Expediting Land signing off. See ya!